What makes something an acid or a base? The answer isn't a single definition, but a story of evolving ideas. The first modern attempt came from Svante Arrhenius. His theory was simple and elegant. Acids produce hydrogen ions, H+, in water, while bases produce hydroxide ions. Think of hydrochloric acid in your stomach or sodium hydroxide in drain cleaner. This was a huge step, but it had a key limitation. It only worked in water, and it couldn't explain why substances like ammonia act as a base without having any hydroxide to give. Then, in 1923, Bronsted and Lowry offered a more powerful perspective. They proposed it's not about what a substance produces, but what it does. An acid is simply a proton donor. A base is a proton acceptor. Suddenly, ammonia made perfect sense. In water, it accepts a proton, acting as a base. This new theory was far more general, moving beyond just aqueous solutions. This framework also clarifies the difference between strong and weak. A strong acid, like HCl, completely donates all its protons. It fully dissociates. A weak acid, like the acetic acid in vinegar, is more reluctant, only partially letting go of its protons in an equilibrium. And here's where it gets interesting. Every acid-base reaction creates a conjugate pair. When an acid donates its proton, what remains is its conjugate base. These pairs have an inverse relationship. A strong acid leaves behind a pathetically weak conjugate base. Conversely, a weak acid creates a relatively strong conjugate base. This dynamic dance, this constant exchange of protons, governs everything from the pH balance in our blood to countless industrial reactions. It all comes down to a simple, fundamental transfer.